The welfare of ex-football players in Nigeria has sparked heated debates, with many former stars struggling to make ends meet despite their contributions to the country's sporting glory. The issue gained fresh attention after former Super Eagles defender Taribo West criticized the Nigeria Football Federation and the government for neglecting these athletes.
For me, it's disheartening that you have Lagos State, you have Nigerian Football Association, they dropped the buck on the family. I felt in my spirit there is nothing to put your life for. Do we have a football federation or do we have a football association in this Lagos State? That this hero, this soldier, this football evangelist has to be treated this way and his family. Could you imagine that the family will be crying just to solicit in within our groups to ask for money? That is madness. Look, please let me go.
Former goalkeeper Peter Rufai, who passed away in July 2025, was a notable example. His family reportedly struggled financially, prompting Taribo West to lament the poor treatment of sports heroes in Nigeria. West vowed never to let his son play for Nigeria, citing the neglect of Rufai's family as an example.
What kind of nation is this? With this kind of example they have shown in Shefulue, in Stephen Keshi, blessed memory, Thompson Oliha, blessed memory, Rashidi Yekini. I will never advise even my son to put his feet for this country.
Other ex-internationals spoke out concerning welfare packages for heroes who have served the nation.
Peter Rufai is too big for a name that the government and the people in charge won't just come and take over this burial. I don't think Peter Rufai is a name, a household name, a big name, you know. So it's so sad. I'm sorry to speak like this, but it's the way I'm feeling right now. Maybe because of emotions, but I don't think we've done enough.
When I heard about his death, I felt so sad, and I was kind of, very, very unhappy because he didn't say anything. Even if he had said something, what would Nigeria do? Look at Kaliri. Before, when Kaliri was sick too, with Erin Wosu, Nigerians don't take care of their own. You understand? That's the most important thing. We don't take care of our own. We're like a fallen soldier. When you go to war and come back, everybody forgets about you. I think this thing has to change. I think the government has to be in charge of taking care of funerals like this when you've served the nation this well.
So many ex-player or ex-national or legend, they are suffering. I think government should come to their aid. I don't want to compare Nigeria with a foreign country, because if you go to a foreign country after their retirement, they have what they call pension, they pay them and all this stuff. But we don't do it here.
Rufai must be appreciated. Rufai has done much for this country. He gave all his all to Nigeria. That is why we don't have anything to give him but to say thank you, Peter Rufai. You've done so much for this country, and all we need is to appreciate him. I think the Nigeria Football Federation must do something to show appreciation for this guy. So I believe the NFL can still do something. After how much is it? All we need is not just money, but open a Hall of Fame to be able to appreciate these guys. And that is the only thing that will make the younger ones want to serve Nigeria with their best.
Former Anambra State Governor and presidential aspirant Peter Obi paid a condolence visit to Rufai's family, emphasizing the need for collective effort to honor national heroes. After Taribo's emotional outburst, the NFF clarified that it provided financial support to Rufai's and Christian Chukwu's families during their funerals. However, critics argue that more needs to be done to ensure the welfare of ex-players.
Can the government do more to take care of, former players? Yes, definitely. But these players also in their pump made a lot of money. Some will say. But I think that this is more of a policy thing. And maybe not more on the government, but maybe on the football, Professional Football Association. We have the NAMF, And you ask yourself, what has been NAMF been really up to? Because I know that in England, the PFA has got a lot of interesting policies in terms of transitioning from football to other things. SAFA also has something with their players' union as well. What is the players' union in Nigeria doing? We can't delegate everything to government. So I think that the burden lies more on what bodies like the Players Union, even the NPFL. Not everybody's going to play in the big leagues in Europe. What is the plan for the NPFL to help these players really transition into other things? We need to start thinking about the future. So I think while the government can do better, especially the old Rufai thing, because of his legendary status, the whole burden doesn't really just rest on them. The burden rests on people like the Players Union, the NPFL, the NFF.
I think we're all guilty. Even those of us in the media, we don't do enough. We're not producing enough content about maybe documentaries, about their past exploits, maybe just telling their stories of times past. You know, this generation of youngsters now, they hardly know some of these heroes because nobody's telling the story. So I think we're all complicit, and I think we can and should do more for these heroes.
The debate centers around whether the government or football authorities should take responsibility for supporting these athletes after their playing careers. Many Nigerians believe ex-athletes should be honored but not entitled to lifelong government care.
The money that any footballers, they're paid in millions, in dollars and pounds. What is their own plan after they might have gone out of that profession? When they're no longer, doing that business again, that trade, that career, that profession again, the money they have made, what's their plan for? What plan do they have to guarantee their future? That maybe investments, maybe they have diversified that money into other businesses which have grown, and having now retired from that area of service of their personal business endeavors, they can now then be running their business, and then it will guarantee them continuous livelihood throughout the rest of their time, throughout the rest of their life. What's their plan? If they have faltered, if they have wasted the money they have made from their own private businesses, they blame for it.
There's a career after sports. And what is this career after sports? Number one is how you manage your life, how you spend your time, while you are serving. Or while you are serving on the pitch, while you are serving out of the pitch. What is your own personal structure of living life, your own structure that you have to relax on after all your time in your career that you have spent in serving? For instance, let's go at the issue of someone like Celestine Babiyaro, Wisin Oruma, so many on. After their wonderful, glorious career, they went broke, and along the line, people will start saying, why is government not looking into the direction of our athletes, our sports, our footballers, our basketballers, There are limits of what government will do. While you are serving, you are served under the privilege and the image of that country. There's a life after career. There's a life after football. It is not about them running to government always.
These are ambassadors of this country. Some of our ex-sportsmen, they have served this nation meritoriously, and they deserve the best. I believe that they ought to be compensated. There should be something in place for them, because after they might have spent their energy carrying the flag of this country, even within and outside the shore of Nigeria, representing this country in different fora, I think they should be compensated. There should be a kind of an arrangement whereby after they might have left service, or they might have outspent their energy, there should be something that should be in place that will keep them going, in form of pension, in form of trying to have something for them that they can fall back on. But sadly enough, most of our ex-sportsmen in this part of the divide, most of them die without nothing to show for it, that they even represent this country. I think government can up the ante by bringing some kind of a semblance of humanity into their policy to see that our sportsmen, it will also encourage the people that are looking at them as a role model, so that they themselves, they will say yes, they want to die for this country.
It's not only Peter Rufai. So many of our past heroes in the sports area, many of them died miserably. You see many of them, you see that this is somebody that has served Nigeria at a particular time, dying of a sickness, and nobody talk about him. It's a very, very bad culture in this country.
But interestingly, there are some ex-internationals who believe that government should not be responsible for taking care of them after their retirement. Recently, retired former Super Eagles striker and 2013 Africa Cup of Nations winner Brown Idaye entered the debate, writing on his X account to advise active football players to make savings for their retirement a priority. To be fair, some ex-football players played at a time when football was not as lucrative, so they retired with little or no savings despite their sacrifices. Some of them suffer long-term injuries, physical strain, or even mental health challenges directly linked to their playing days. These days, football players often earn significant salaries and endorsement deals and should plan for retirement just like professionals in other fields. Governments already face pressure to provide healthcare, education, housing, and jobs for the wider population. Some say the responsibility to provide for retired football players lies with football associations, clubs, and players' unions to set up pension schemes, not the government. And there are those who argue that why should ex-football players receive extra attention?
Whatever we're doing right now for our heroes past and present is the same thing we're doing for our heroes past and present in the armed forces, the doctors, the lawyers, the philosophers. Are we doing enough for Nigeria? Personally, I don't think so. Can we do more? Yes, we can.
As the conversation around ex-players' welfare continues, one thing is clear. The future of Nigerian football depends on valuing its past heroes. The majority believe that the least the government owes them is a befitting state burial, so that the labors of our heroes past will not be in vain. For New Central TV, I am Udoka Njoko.